Là, maintenant, ils apprennent.
1 million years ago, during the antediluvian era, there was a volcanic eruption here on the Larzac Plateau. The volcano's fury was such that it split the Combalou mountain in two. The northern half collapsed, spreading over nearly 1 kilometer. From this geological accident, a maze of tunnels was formed. Through their faults and their vents, air is constantly circulating from the bottom of the rock pile up to the rocky plateau. Nature has a way of doing things well. When man came in and started digging, he discovered caves which were perfectly temperate, thanks to the vents. These vents suck in warm air from the outside to heat up the caves. Inversely, when it's cold, the caves blow up the warm air. This phenomenon only happens in the village of Roquefort, and it is the only way of making the cheese of the same name. In 1411, Charles VI decreed the monopoly on the manufacture of Roquefort cheese. In 1961, the zone for the maturation process was geographically defined, 2 kilometers long and 300 meters wide. In 1906, Paul Alrich founded the Wing trademark and developed the way of making papillon. In 1909, the company produced 150 tons of Roquefort. In 1951, Albert Alrich became manager at Papillon, a period of growth which continued with his son Girard from 1980 to 98, when the Farine family took up the reins. Production is up to 2,000 tons. When the village bakery closed down, Papillon started making its own bread. This detail is important because the key to Papillon Roquefort is the mold which grows on rye bread, Penicillium roqueforti. The loaves of bread are placed in the caves during the first full moon of September. 45 days later, the fungus will have grown in the soft part of the bread. Ewes from the Lacone race are the only animals allowed by designation of origin. The producers chosen by Papillon have their sheep graze on the plateau of Levezou and in the Tarn Valley. The air there is pure and the grass is lush. From December to late June, the sheep are milked twice a day under the watchful eye of Papillon. The milk is immediately transferred to the dairy at Villefranche-de-Panat, in the heart of the collection zone. Once the milk has been put into a vat, rennet from the stomach of an unweaned calf is added. It is then heated to 30 degrees centigrade. All of the equipment in the dairy has been designed to guarantee the highest level of hygiene without compromising the cheese's characteristics. The milk is constantly monitored in the dairy's laboratory. Two hours later, the milk is turned into curds. With the help of a perfectly calibrated cutter, the curds are sliced into small cubes. These movements are the same as those once performed by humans. The cheesemaker Papillon spent time observing, studying and analyzing them. Thus, he was able to help manufacture the machines that scrupulously carry out the same gestures.
Non, bah la fois, je t'avais déjà pour... Il fait une tartine de Roquefort à côté. Ah ouais?
T'avais fait demain?
Ah, il fait petit, là, je le reconnais. C'est pour ça que je te dis, c'est... Moi, j'aime...
Then comes the most important moment in the development of Roquefort. The live Penicillium roqueforti culture, which has been grown in the rye bread, is added to the curds. This is what gives Papillon its flavor and characteristic veins. Now it is time to put it into the molds. For the next 2 days, it will be turned regularly and drained. After the cheese is drained, it is salted 3 days on one side and 2 days on the other. It then has to be drilled all the way through, for the penicillium needs air in order to develop properly inside the Roquefort. Now and only now can the cheese be taken down into the Papillon caves. Thanks to the vents, which maintain the humidity at 98% and the temperature at 10 to 11 degrees centigrade, the cheese will not dry out. The Roquefort will be patiently monitored and regularly checked. When 3 weeks are up, the strength of Penicillium roqueforti can be judged when the cheese is folded in thin tin sheets. Thus protected, a rind will not form. But the Papillon Roquefort still needs time before reaching its full maturity. It will now spend at least 3 months in the maturation zone. Just a few more days and it will be on your table at last. The road has indeed been long. The cheese is glowing nice and white, beautifully marbled with that unique blue color, and it doesn't crumble when you cut it. To enjoy the cheese, simply spread it on a slice of rye bread. All that's missing is a glass of sweet white wine or a full-bodied red. Roquefort Papillon. Invite it to your table and relish its company.